Before you walk into a room, the room has already made a decision about you. Not when you speak, not when you smile, not when you introduce yourself. Before any of that, in the half second between the door opening and your first step through it, something happens. People shift, conversations slow, something in the air changes. And most people never notice it because they are too busy preparing what they are going to say. Here is what nobody tells you. The people who command a room without trying are not doing something special in that moment. They did something special long before they ever arrived. And that is what this is really about. There is a concept in psychology called the halo effect. It describes how one powerful quality about a person colors everything else you perceive about them. Their confidence, their intelligence, their authority. All of it gets filtered through that first impression, that initial signal your nervous system picks up before your conscious mind has processed a single word. But here is what the textbooks leave out. The halo effect is not triggered by what you show. It is triggered by what you do not need to show. Most people walk into rooms hungry. Hungry for validation. Hungry to be noticed. Hungry for someone to signal that they belong there. And people feel that hunger before they ever see your face. It travels ahead of you. It moves through a room faster than you do. And the moment people sense that you need something from them, you have already lost the one thing you came looking for. A real aura is built on the opposite of that. It is built on completeness, on a kind of quiet, almost unsettling certainty that you would be completely fine if nobody in this room acknowledged you at all. That level of self-containment is so rare that when people encounter it, they cannot name what they are feeling. They just feel it, and they go quiet. This is not arrogance. Arrogance is just insecurity in a nicer outfit. What we are talking about is something much older and much deeper than that. The Stoics called it equanimity. The Japanese called it zanshin, a state of total presence, total awareness, a mind that is fully settled and completely unafraid of whatever happens next. People who carry this do not announce themselves. They do not need to. Now think about a man who has walked into more high-pressure rooms than almost anyone on the planet. Stadium tunnels, press rooms after devastating losses, dressing rooms full of the greatest footballers alive, all watching to see if he would flinch. Cristiano Ronaldo. And the remarkable thing about him is not what most people focus on. It is not the goals, not the trophies, not the body. It is something that journalists, teammates, and opponents have described over and over again using almost identical language. They talk about what happens to the energy in a space when he enters it. Early in his time at Real Madrid, there was a training session. Ronaldo walked out onto the pitch a few minutes late. And the entire session, world-class professionals who had been playing at the highest level their whole careers naturally slowed. Not because he said anything, not because anyone instructed them to look. They just did. Something shifted and everyone felt it. Sergio Ramos described it once. He said when Ronaldo walked into a room, even people mid-conversation would trail off without realizing why. Not out of fear, out of something they could not quite explain. Now ask yourself honestly, why does that happen? Because here is the truth. Ronaldo's physical presence is exceptional, yes, but there are hundreds of athletes with elite physical builds. What Ronaldo carries is something no gym can produce and no amount of money can purchase. He carries absolute certainty, not the kind you perform, the kind that comes from being alone at 3 in the morning, choosing the hard thing again, when the only person watching was himself. His aura is the weight of 10,000 private decisions that nobody ever witnessed him make. There was a Champions League night where Manchester United were knocked out. Ronaldo walked into the post-match press conference, and his composure was so complete that Sir Alex Ferguson later described it as one of the most striking things he had seen in a young player. No visible anger, no deflection, no scrambling to manage perception, just a stillness that made everyone else in the room quietly aware of their own restlessness. His face said nothing, but the room felt everything. And then there was the time the Portuguese fans booed him during a poor performance at the national team level. That is the kind of moment that breaks people. That is the moment when most players overcorrect. They try too hard. They get desperate. They start playing for the approval of the crowd rather than the truth of the game. Ronaldo walked back onto the pitch with the same controlled intensity as if the noise had never existed. Not because he did not feel it. He felt it. But he had already decided, somewhere private and long ago, that the crowd does not get to reach inside him and move things around. That decision is the foundation of every powerful aura you have ever encountered in your life. Most people misunderstand what presence actually is. They think it is projection. They think the people who command rooms are constantly pushing something outward: confidence, authority, dominance. And so they try to do the same. They talk louder. They take up more space. They over-explain themselves. They perform certainty so aggressively that the performance becomes the most visible thing in the room. But projection is exhausting, and people sense the exhaustion underneath it. The most magnetic people in any room are not pushing outward at all. They are pulling inward. They are so grounded, so settled inside themselves, that everything around them adjusts slightly without being asked to. Not because they commanded it, because stillness creates gravity. Think of it this way. Fire does not chase people. It just burns. And people move closer on their own. The unsettled mind is always reacting. Someone disrespects it, and it fires back immediately. Someone ignores it, and it feels the wound for hours. Someone questions its identity, and it rushes to defend itself. Every stimulus gets a response. Every room gets a performance. And that constant reaction is what drains the energy that could have become presence. The settled mind watches all of this from a different place. It registers the disrespect. It feels the slight. And then it quietly, almost boringly, chooses not to move. Not because it is suppressing anything, but because it decided long ago that nothing outside of itself has the authority to rearrange what is inside. That kind of internal security does not stay hidden. It does not stay in the mind. It moves into the body. It changes your posture. It changes your pace. It changes the way your eyes rest on a room rather than scan it. Your nervous system broadcasts your internal state whether you intend it to or not. A person who is genuinely settled looks physically different from a person who is pretending to be. You cannot fake this, but you can absolutely build it. Think about the last time you walked into a room full of people you did not know well. A meeting where you felt slightly outnumbered. A social situation where you were not sure of your place. What did your body do? Did your eyes immediately look for someone friendly? Did you reach for your phone to have something to occupy your hands? Did you speak a little faster than normal? Did you laugh slightly harder at something that was not that funny? These are not character failures. They are survival instincts misfiring in a social environment. Your nervous system trying to establish safety in a space that feels uncertain. But the person with a powerful aura does not walk into a room looking for safety. They walk in already safe, already home inside themselves. The room is just geography, a different arrangement of furniture. The people in it have no real power over what is happening inside them, and they know it without having to remind themselves. They are not performing calm. There is nothing being performed at all, and that absence of performance, in a world where almost everyone is performing something, reads as power. People feel it the way they feel a change in temperature. Something is different here. Something is steady. And some part of the brain, the ancient part that was designed to read rooms long before language existed, quietly registers it. That is the feeling that makes a room go quiet before someone has said a single word. Now sit with this for a moment. Everything we have been talking about, the stillness, the self-containment, the certainty that cannot be shaken by a room full of strangers, none of it was given to anyone. Not to Ronaldo. Not to the people you have encountered in your own life who carry this kind of energy. It was built, quietly, in private, across thousands of moments when nobody was watching and the easier choice was right there. Your aura right now is the physical expression of how you have been treating yourself when no one is around. Read that again and let it land properly. How you speak to yourself after a failure. Whether you kept the promise you made to yourself this morning or quietly renegotiated it before noon. Whether you chose the hard thing or the comfortable one when both options were available and the only difference was discipline. All of that lives in the body. All of it shows up in a room before you have spoken a single word. The aura does not lie. The room feels whatever is actually true. But here is what makes that worth something. It means the only thing standing between you and the kind of presence that changes rooms is a series of private decisions, beginning today, that nobody else will ever see, that accumulate slowly into something people cannot explain but cannot look away from. You do not build an aura by wanting it. You build it by becoming the kind of person who no longer needs to want anything from a room. The kind of person who has moved through enough discomfort alone, in silence, that when they walk through a door, the discomfort in that room has nothing new to offer them. Presence is just your private discipline becoming loud enough for other people to feel. Before you move on, I want you to sit with one question. Not the comfortable version of it. The honest version. Think of the last time you were in a room and something inside you pulled back. Not because of anything said, just the feeling. The instinct to shrink slightly, to scan for approval, to perform something you were not actually feeling. What was missing in that moment was not status, not skill, not the right clothes or the right words. What was missing was trust in yourself. And if you can name that clearly, something in you will begin to shift. If something in this video landed in a way that felt uncomfortable, not in a bad way, but in the way that true things feel when they arrive, write it in the comments. Not what sounds good, what you actually felt. That kind of honesty in a comment section is rarer than it should be. And if there was a moment in your life when you completely lost your presence, when you gave your power away without meaning to and felt it happen in real time, write about it. Not for anyone else. Because naming what happened is the first step toward making sure it never reaches you the same way again. And if this raised a question about presence, about aura, about the psychology underneath what we explored today, ask it. I read them. The questions that go deeper than the surface are the ones that shape what comes next on this channel. Your question might become the exact thing someone else needed to hear. Most people will feel something from this for a few minutes, and then the feeling will fade and they will go back to exactly who they were before they clicked play. But some people, a specific kind of person, will carry this into a room tomorrow and the day after, not loudly, not with any announcement, just quietly, in private, making different decisions than they made before. And slowly, over time, without ever telling anyone what they are building, they will become someone rooms feel before they arrive. What comes next goes deeper, into the psychology of silence, into why the most powerful people in any room usually speak the least, into what emotional control actually looks like when it is real versus when it is rehearsed. If that is the direction your mind already moves in, stay close. Because the next one was built for exactly the kind of person who made it to the end of this one.